hair looks crazy. It's okay. Hello. I'm going to wait a couple minutes for people to go ahead and join us here. How you guys doing today? Awesome. People are joining. So excited. Go ahead and put in the comments where you guys are joining us from. Today I'm going to be painting the lovers under the tree painting. I'm going to go ahead and put this under the announcement so it could be easier for everyone to find. Where's everyone painting from today, guys? Okay, we got Winnipeg in the house. Awesome. Oh, wow. Below 50 degrees. Oh, I'd be scared there. I'd not do 50-degree weather. Below 50-degree weather, I mean. Oh, man. I am actually in Las Vegas, and it's about maybe 50 degrees, actually 60. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to the weather lately. I don't really go outside that much. Okay, we got New York, Maine, Connecticut. Awesome. Gonna wait for a few more people to go ahead and get on and join us here. Maybe I should just a little bit. Yeah, I'm from Boston. I do not miss the cold that at all. Yes, of course. Give me 1 second. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm excited to be painting today. Give me one moment. Let me see here. There we go. Now you can see the canvas a lot better. There's actually a reference of the painting if you guys want to go ahead and look at it on your Facebook page. Let me see here. Trying to get it up here. My computer wants to act crazy. Okay, we got Montreal. We got someone else in Connecticut. Okay. Oh, you grew up in Saugus? Okay. I grew up in Rosendale, Mass. Yes, you can absolutely replay it later. It will be posted here in the group. Just gonna wait like about 3 more minutes and we can go ahead and get started. Make sure you guys go ahead and share this to your pages, to your other groups, so your friends can go ahead and join us paint. Do not forget to post your paintings. I definitely do want to see them. There we go. I marked it as an announcement so other people can see. Awesome. Yeah, pretty much. We're just like neighbors, Now I'm in Vegas. I get lucky because the winters here aren't too cold, but it does get around 40 degrees, sometimes 30 degrees at night. So people don't think it gets cold here, but it does. And I'd be like, anytime it gets below 50 degrees, period, I'm cold, okay? Because I've been spoiled to this weather out here. All right. We can go ahead and get started. So we have our canvas. This is actually 11 by 14 size canvas, but you guys can use any size canvas you want. You can use paper also, cardboard, who cares? Just go ahead and paint, you know? I have my palette. I do have my paints here. I have purple, blue, green. This one is like a Cloverfield's green, Paradise pink. You guys can use any colors you guys want to, though. Please feel free to use your own colors. I have some white. Then I have Mars Black. And that's actually titanium white. Alright, and then I have like a whole bunch of different types of brushes. I have, I'm probably going to be using my 3/4 glaze brush. I have fan brush. I have my bright brush. I have my smaller detail brush. And then we have quite a few other brushes. That's all, whatever type of brush you want to use, go ahead and use it. I can show you guys how to use do the different steps and using different brushes if you guys have, you know, other brushes than I have. Just let me know. And some other flat brushes and round brushes also. So go ahead and grab those too. All right, so the first step is we're going to go ahead and put some white paint on our palette. And I'm going to get some primary blue paint. We're going to start off with our background. All right, and I'm going to use the 3/4 glaze brush. And we're going to use like 50% blue, so you guys can see what I'm doing. 50% blue and then 50% white. So 50-50, a little bit of both on your brush. We're going to go ahead and go back and forth at the top of our canvas. We're going to go ahead and blend in. There's a blue and white. And we're going to do this till like right about here. So like about 1/3 of the canvas. You could do this. And as we work our ways down to this part, we're going to add a little bit more white. So 50% blue again, 50% white, and we're just going back and forth. Left to right. Or right to left, whichever one you prefer. I'm just going to go ahead and blend this in together to make a nice light blue sky. If you guys have any questions, do go ahead and put it in the comments. I am looking at the chat. The comments. I will try to get to everyone's comment. Go ahead and try to add just a little bit more white than blue now. Now, don't worry if your painting does not look exactly like my painting, okay? Because my painting is definitely not going to look exactly like this one. But that's okay. We're here to have fun. And we're here to paint, learn some new skills. And go ahead and add some more white. Just go back and forth. adding some more up here at the top right now because I can still see places where it doesn't have exactly as much paint as I want. Maybe I should turn the light on. That might help. Might be a little bit brighter for you guys to see. There we go. A lot better. Now, as I work my way down more, I'm adding more white than blue. Mostly just white. And you don't have to wash your brush because you still want to somewhat see a little bit of the blue as we work our way down. It's more like 1/3. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and rinse off my brush. And I'm going to go ahead and use just the white paint. And we're going to use this white paint until right about here where it's that 2/3 mark. So this whole entire middle section is going to be white. I'm just going back and forth to do this. And working my way up to this part right here. Just back and forth. Now for this bottom section, we're going to do the same exact way we did this top. So with white and blue. So 50% white, 50% blue. And just go ahead and work it in there. Some more white. How's everyone doing? You guys doing good so far? Thank you guys for painting with me. I love painting so much that now my desk looks like an abstract painting itself. I've been painting so much more lately because, there's not really a lot else to do these days with the pandemic going on. But don't know, it's just relaxing and keeps me calm and gets things off my mind. It's a very big stress reliever. It's always been a big stress reliever in my life. I started painting when I was like about, hmm, you know what, maybe like 15, 16. I don't even remember. I used to draw more than paint. And when I was in high school, my mom put me in an art program because I loved to draw. And in senior year, when I was in the program, we were in a painting contest. And this was back when I didn't really like painting that much. Um, I used to always be like, that doesn't look right. And so this is what happened that day. I was when I was in that painting contest, I was like, I don't like my painting like I like everybody else's. Everybody else's looks so much better. Please, can I go ahead and restart mine? And the director would not let me start mine over. She was like, it looks amazing, it looks beautiful. Me, I was like, but compared to everybody else's, theirs looks amazing. Mine looks like, eh. And she was like, nope, not letting you start over. And so she didn't let me start over, and I just continued to go ahead and paint it. And it was like a weird looking flower with some other stuff in the background. I made like a big, huge collage of stuff. And it was funny because at the contest, when they were naming the winner, um, the guy, he looked at me and my best friend and he named my best friend for the runner up. And then he looked at us again and he said that I was the winner. And I was like, what? Really? Me? You're kidding me, right? And I tell people this story every day because, I mean, every time I have a paint party or I paint, because they're always, down on themselves saying, I don't like this, it doesn't look right. And I have to remind myself of this story all the time because I do that too. So every once in a while, I'm like, okay, this is not coming out right. But then I have to remind myself, I might not like it, but other people do. So don't be negative. Have fun with it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add some more white to this little bit of the top of this blue section right here. So it'll be a little bit lighter for our water. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and rinse this brush off. And then I'm going to put it to the side for a second. And then I'm going to use my fan brush. Now you can use a different brush if you want. You could still use this 3/4 brush if you want. If you don't have a fan brush, that's okay. You could also use a flat brush. I'll show you how to do it with that also. I'm going to get some of my purple paint. I'm going to put it on my palette. If the paint wants to come out. We'll wet this just a little bit, not too much. And I'm gonna use both the blue and the purple. So I'm gonna use blue first. And I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna go up and down motion. All across. And I'm gonna use the purple with it also because I like the way the purple mixes in with this blue in this middle section here. And if it ends up being too dark, it's okay. You can add some white in there. And mine ended up being a little bit darker than I wanted right there, so I'm gonna add some white. Now, if you have the other brush and you don't have this brush, don't worry. I'm gonna show you how to do it. So here's that blue, the flat brush, and you just want up and down motion, in very small lines. And you're doing this all across, okay? And again, if it's a little bit darker than you wanted, that is fine. You can go ahead and add some more white, that's what I'm gonna do. Go ahead and put it in there. Get some more white. Now I'm gonna do the same step with my purple. I'm getting a little bit of purple on the very top of my brush so I don't have too much paint. No, same motion, up and down. Very lightly, you want to do this. Yes, this video definitely can be played later. It's in the announcement section, so it'll be posted there if you want to paint later. And I'm gonna add maybe a little bit more white in there with my purple and blue, just so it could be more blended together, more muted. I want it to be as bright. That's looking pretty interesting so far. I actually like this. Now, again, you can use either this brush or the other one. Completely up to you. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry. Actually, I think I'm gonna add more right here because I can see a lot of white in my background. I don't really want to see the white. I think I'm gonna do it with this brush. Let me pull the canvas over a little bit more so you guys can see it. There we go. Still showing a little bit of white. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it dry, then I'll do some more. How's yours coming out so far, guys? Awesome. I can't wait till you go back home and paint also. I can't wait to see how yours comes out. Go ahead and dry my brush off. Okay, now that this is dry, we're going to go ahead and start off on our print. Go ahead and use our Mars Black and put that on my palette. And I'm going to use my 12 flat brush. And I'm just going to make a line like right about here. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on. So eventually it's probably most likely going to be like this. You can put that line there and you're just going to fill it in right now with that black. Now if you want to use brown, you can use brown also. But I decided I like the way it looks with the black on the bottom. And then I'm just going back and forth right now, filling it Okay, a little bit. There we go. If your paint is a little bit sticky, you can go ahead and, just wet your brush a little bit and then go ahead and continue to fill it in. And just fill it in a little bit more. For this part, you can add in a little bit of white just to, make it a little bit look a little bit more muddy because it's dirt. So if you do that, you can. I'm adding a tiny little bit of white, not too much, because I still want it to be dark. Looks more like a dark gray and black mixed together. And then for this bottom part, I'm just gonna drag my brush a little bit like that. Little lines. Alright, and there you have it. I'll go ahead and put some of my green on my palette also. Just wait for it to dry a little bit more, then we'll go ahead and do that next step. I'm going to dry my brush off a little bit more. Okay, since that's dry, I'm going to go ahead and do that part one more time while that's drying down there. Just adding my purple and some white.
like how it looks like it's a whole bunch of different colors in that. Add a little bit more blue. I'm just going all the way across. There's just certain areas where I feel like need some more love. Need some more love. I'm sorry. Now in this middle part, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse off my brush. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and make a line in the middle. I'm using my white paint to do this. But if you want to use a different brush and make yours look different, you can. And then there we go. Alright, this is a filbert brush. I'm going to go ahead and use some black and my green. And I'm just going to make some grass, some bushes here. I'm just doing it in like a circular motion. A little bit more green. I'm bringing it up just a little bit more. I'm just doing like this. How's everyone doing? I have kind of like a green here. And moving in that circular motion. I'm bringing it down a little bit into the ground area, little cliff. Just playing around with this here. Give me 1 second. My computer wants to act crazy. I'll add just a little bit on the side. Not too much on this side, just a little bit. So it gets smaller. And I'm just adding in more and more green than I have my black in certain areas. Alright, and then that's all for that. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse off this brush here. Just gonna go ahead and let that dry just a little bit so that we can go ahead and start on our tree. That's my favorite part. While we're waiting for that to dry, actually what we can do is we can go ahead and add some white lines to our water. So I'm going to go ahead and use the 3/4 glaze brush. If you want to use your small detail brush or your other flat brush, you can. I'm just going to go ahead and make little lines like that. And I'm only using the very tip of the brush, the very edge. I'm just going like this, like that, make it a bit longer. Maybe one right here. And that's all. Don't really need too many of those. Alright, that's still drying. So we'll go ahead and do some more in a second. How's everyone doing? Everyone doing good? Oh, thank you so much. I'm happy you guys like it. Yes, the replay will be available in the announcement section. So don't worry, you will be able to paint it later at another time. Still just a tad bit wet. I get paint all over my hands all the time by touching paint. I'm surprised it's not on my face yet. I get my paint on my face. I had it yesterday. I did a painting on Zoom. We did the rose of love, not last night, the night before, on Thursday night, and I got the paint all over my phone. Excuse me. And as you guys can see, I get paint all over my desk all the time. Oh, of course. It's my pleasure to, go ahead and paint with you guys. I plan on doing at least once or twice a month, more lives. So I'll go ahead and put some more, do another drawing on there and see what you guys want to paint next. Maybe we could do a watercolor because I know you guys said that you want to do some watercolor paintings. Yes, I am doing a tutorial right now. It will be available later on if you're just tuning in. Don't worry, you can go back and replay it and you can fast forward and things like that. So yeah, I do have a couple paintings put aside that look interesting. I'll go ahead and post them and see what you guys want to paint next. Maybe like in 2 weeks we can do another one. Saturday or Sunday mornings are my best time to paint. So you guys can let me know if you want to do it on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning. The finished painting is actually on the on the group and the announcement section. Let me see here. Let me see. Here is. Oh, I opened the wrong one. Nope, don't want that one. Give me 1 second, guys. Trying to get that picture so I can show it to you guys. Ooh, a peacock. Yeah, that would be great. Okay, we can definitely do a peacock. Oh, give me one more second here. Should be able to see the painting in the picture now. Let me see, because I'm doing it on my phone. I should have had it here more. We'll figure it out later. I'm not going to go ahead and keep worrying about it right now. We'll share it later. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start off with this small detail brush. And I'm going to go ahead and use some black paint. And I'm just going to sketch the tree out. I'm going to go ahead and start my tree right about here. And usually when I start a tree, I just make a line, a curved line for this one, so it's more curvy. That's great. I can't wait to see yours. And then just gonna make it a little bit longer. So what I did is, again, I started at the bottom and I went up. I'm gonna start on the other side, right about here, and then go up. It's weird. Sorry about that. Go ahead and put another branch. There we go. So, and as I get at the top, I want it to be a little bit smaller. And I want the bottom to be a little bit thicker. But right now we are just sketching it, so don't worry too much about that. And then I'll add another one on this side. And right here, I'll go ahead and bring the line out a little bit. Bring it up. Make another branch like right about there. And then bring another one, another line to this middle part right here. It changed size. Let me see here. There we go. Is that better? I think that's awesome. Okay, perfect. Alright, so now that we have the basic shape of the tree, we'll go ahead and use our bright brush. I'm going to use my bright brush to make the branches a lot better and fill it in. You can use a flat brush also, It's completely up to you which brush you want to use for this. It's all good. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just filling in this middle section. Middle of the trunk. Then I'm going up and filling it in a little bit more. Okay, I'm not exactly sure I want this brush. It's not doing what I wanted to do, that's okay. Use it, right? I'll use my other bright brush. That one has something going on with it. There we go. That's a lot better. So when I do the branches, usually what I do is um, I have more pressure on the brush when I want it to be the thicker side, and then when I want to be the brush to get smaller, I mean the branch to get smaller, I go ahead and release the pressure off of it so it could be just a smaller branch at the top. Because usually branches, when they start off from the tree, they're a lot thicker, and then when you go out, they end up thin and small. You could also do this with your small detail brush or a small flat brush. It's all up to you, which works better for you. I just feel like this bright brush helps a lot more for myself. So we're going to go ahead and do that again here. I'm applying a lot more pressure at the bottom of the branch. Then as I get up, I'm loosening up the pressure, lightening up. And I'm bringing my branch up a little bit more. And as I do this, I'm also trying to make different bumps and lumps into the branches because branches aren't always exactly straight. That one I'll probably do with the small brush at the top later. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a branch right here. Again, applying pressure. And then lightening up on the pressure as we go up. And go ahead and add a branch right here. Apply the pressure. And then loosen up. Now you can add as many branches as you want. It's completely up to you how many branches you want your tree to have. I'm just adding them in different places. I'm just going all around the tree. I think I want to add one on this side right here to go up. Then I want one down here. Another one down here. I'm gonna go ahead and add a smaller branch right going up. Alright, I'm gonna go to my smaller detail brush for the smaller branches. I'm just using the very tip of the brush with black paint. I don't want too much paint on there. I'm also, like I said before, I'm adding some bumps here and there on the branches. You don't always have to worry too much about the branches because they're gonna end up being covered by the flowers, the leaves. I kind of want this one longer. There. Now for the smaller branches, what I'm doing is I'm gonna go ahead and just make little lines. And I'm just going ahead and making like somewhat like a Y shape off here. Kind of want that branch to be a little thicker right here. I don't want that to be thick. Alright, I'm gonna come over those branches right now. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse off this brush here. Now I'm gonna show you guys a couple ways to do the blossoms. You could use a fan brush. First, I'm gonna start off with the purple paint. There's different ways you can use this fan brush also. So you could go ahead and do like this, make small little blossoms bunched into this area. Or you could hold it more down here and go like this. You don't want too much paint on your brush because you want to still be able to see those little tiny dots for your blossoms. I'm just going to do bunches. Now, if you don't have this brush, it's okay. You can use a round brush or a flat brush. I'll show you how to do them with those. This one's a rounded top, so it's a filbert. And you're going to want to wet this brush. And again, just at the very tip for your brush, not too much paint on your brush. You're going to go dab, 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 dab. And see, so even though it's a different brush, you can still see the little dots because I had it only on the very tip and I wet it. And if you want to do your flat brush, you could do the same thing. Or if you have Q-tips, you can use those also. So I'm going to go back to this, my fan brush, and I'm going to squeeze it at the top because I kind of like it how it looks like this. The way it's making it look like this. So we're going to do this all around the tree in different bunches. There we go. And dab, 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 dab. And you can work your way down to the middle of the tree doing this. On this one, like when you're working your way down the tree, you can do it a lot more with a lot more paint. But as you're at the tip of the tree, you know, the top of the branches, you want to do lightly so you can see the sky and some of the branch, and then yeah. So I'm going to be using pink and purple here. So this one is just a purple. Dab, 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 dab. Lightly dab when you want to see the sky in the background. So right now on this first coat, you can still see the branches in the background and I mean behind the blossoms. So that's pretty interesting. I like that.
And I can see everything in the background. And I'm just putting some into this middle area here. Oh, maybe I'll add a branch later. Sometimes you want to bring out the branches after you do this part. All right. Go ahead and rinse my brush off. It's getting a little bit darker there than I wanted. That's okay though. I'll fix that part later. I'm over here making crazy noises, I know. Bunches. I'm gonna bring it up here. All right. I'm gonna add just a little bit more, actually. Down here a little bit. Just a little bit. How you guys doing so far? How's it looking? Good. I'm happy to hear that. I'll go ahead and let it dry because I do want to do a little bit more purple here. Go ahead and add some pink. I'm going to go ahead and just put the pink on my palette now. While that's drying, you can go ahead and add some of the blossoms over here in your water and down here. So I'm going to show you how I did it. I can go ahead and do like this. Put my brush, same way. I'm gonna go dab, 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 dab. I'm doing this down here in the dirt. Then go down a little bit. A little bunch right here in the water. Then we'll do a little bit on here. Oh, I guess that was still wet. It's okay. There we go. Let me fix it. Rinse my brush off because I got some black paint in there. Which is okay though, because I'm still going to end up putting white and pink in it. Then there's a little bit more dabs, like going over here, going up to it. They're all down in between. It's all over the dirt area. So, you know, wouldn't be a cherry blossom tree or just a tree in general if leaves or flowers didn't fall off it, you know. I like the purple in the tree. I don't know exactly if cherry blossoms have purple though. Just going along here. So I decided to stop punching it at the moment. You could also do this with I think a round bristle brush does the same thing. It's like a scruffier brush. And then a whole bunch right here. And then there's a little bit right here, and maybe a little bit right there. And then I want some to go into the water more. I'm gonna go up here into the water a little bit. All right. I think it's dry enough up here where I can add some more purple bunches. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. It's not gonna be too much, and I'm just going kind of fast. So I don't really need a lot. So for those middle areas, I'm gonna go ahead and use my flat brush and dab. So you can some of the brushes, I mean branches, you don't have to see. I'm just dabbing. Because I want to see some of the branches, but I don't want to see all of it. I still want to see a lot of the leaves, flowers, whichever one you want to call it. Right. Once you're done with the purple, you can go into adding your pink. So I'm going to start off with my pink around the branch area, the tops of the branches. And I still want to see some of the purple, so I'm trying to do it in between some of the purple, so I can still see that. I added a lot more purple this time than I did to the example one, because I really like the purple with it. Just looks so pretty. For this middle area, I'm kind of just dabbing it a little bit harder. There we go. Then we'll put some more purple there now that I can have the pink down right there. All right, back to the paint. So you don't want to fully cover that purple. This area is a little bit different at the moment, but I'll fix it later, you'll see. It's okay if you didn't wash off that purple too, because then, you know, it mixes in well together. It makes actually kind of a really pretty color with the pink and the purple mixed together. I'm just dabbing. When I'm in the center, more towards the center of the tree, I'm dabbing a little bit harder on my brush than I am towards the tips of the tree, the very ends. Because I want it to be smaller dots at the top. So a lot lighter. And I'm just going everywhere. Lighter up here. So I can see those little dots. Don't worry if you can't see the branches as much, because we can always add those little black lines in later. Now while that dries, I'm going to go ahead and add some to the bottom. This pink is actually a little bit different than the pink in the example. I kind of did another sample with this pink and I really like it. And I like this pink color right here. Just caught my eye. And I'm just doing them down here in the water and in the ground. I'm just going dab, dab, dab. Mix them with that purple. How's everyone doing? Don't know why my computer wants to be crazy today. How's your paintings coming out, guys? Are they looking good? Anyone have any questions? Now that this area is dry, I'm going to try to add a little bit more purple to it. Looks a little bit more clumped up right there, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get some white paint to add. Now for the white paint, I'm not going to do too much in all over the tree, because if we go overboard, it will look like snow at some point. So I'm only going to go on the very tips in certain areas, like maybe a little bit right here, and then I'm going to go a little bit up here. A little bit up here. And I'm doing just a little bit of dabbing, not too hard. Again, not too much white because you don't want it to overtake. You want it to be all over the tree, because then it will look like a lot of snow. Unless you want yours to look like snow. That's okay also. There's nothing wrong with snow. Okay, I don't know what that was. Just making sure the stream is good. Just a little bit right there. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more. because I did a little bit more white than I wanted. Okay. And then a little bit right here. Right now I'm just dabbing a little bit more all over. Not so much as the white. I actually really like this tree. A little bit more over here. There we go. Alright. And then I'll add my white to the bottom. Rinse my brush off just a little bit so I can get that white clean. Okay, that's a lot more white than I wanted. Okay. I'll go back over that with some pink. If you do it like I did, it's okay. Just go back over it with some pink and some purple, and then it'll be alright. Don't worry too much. It's okay to make a mistake here and there, you know. Okay. A little bit of white now. I had too much white on my brush. There we go. A lot better. Oh yeah, way better. I'm just doing it very light, as light as I can. Okay, that's enough of all that. I forgot to add it right there. Alright. Now we're done with that. Let me know how you guys are doing. Put a thumbs up, some hearts, comment. Just gonna go ahead and let it dry. While that's drying, what we can do is we can go ahead and start doing our bench here and our people. I'm going to use our small detail brush. And we're only going to put paint on the very tip of the brush because we don't want too much paint on the brush. Very tip. Because what we're going to do first is we're going to sketch it. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go ahead and draw a straight line. Just like that. And then I'm going to draw a line down for the branch. And draw a line down on the other side. I'm going to make the line just a little bit longer, actually, on the sides. There we go. For our bench here. Then we're going to go ahead and draw another line right there. And another line right here. So just a nice simple bench. Not too much. Drawing the legs. And there you go. The shadow of my hand was showing. Didn't even notice that. It's funny. Alright, there we go. I just wanted to make it a little bit thicker. Again, just the very tip of the brush with the paint because you don't want to have too much paint because then you'll have too much paint on the canvas. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw the head of the guy. Little tiny circle. Then we're going to go ahead and start drawing his body here. Just drawing a curve going down. Oh, got too much paint on my brush. Let me go ahead and, if you get too much paint on your brush, just rinse it off and wipe off the extra paint, and then get some more. So you don't want to have too much paint. And then in front of him, curved out a little bit more on this side. And then down here, I'm going to draw his legs crossed, just like in the painting. Then here's his foot. It doesn't have to be perfect, so don't worry too much about it. Play with the shape of him later. It could be a stick figure if you want. I like stick figures. That's how I started out when I was little. I used to draw and paint stick figures all the time. I actually think I still have a book of when I was in the 3rd grade of a whole bunch of stick figures. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and start with the girl. Right here was his arm. His arm's going to be around the girl. Just making him a little bit whiter on mine. I don't know. I like the way that looks more. Alright, and then for the girl, we'll go ahead and draw her hair, her head with her hair. It's kind of just a circle. Then kind of made it come down a little to where his arm is. Okay. Trying to keep it round, but my brush wants to be crazy. There we go. Excuse me. Now for the rest of her, I'm gonna rinse this off. The rest of her body, I'm gonna do pink and white. Get all that black off my brush. Now for the pink, I'm gonna go ahead and again just that very tip of the brush. And go right here. And do the dress. Have it go in a little bit right there. Come back out. And then under the bench. I'm gonna grab some white here so you guys can see it better. So pretty much what I did was I drew the line for the dress right here. Out, in, out. Just so she can have a little bit of shape. And I stopped right here at the bench. It's okay if you don't. If you don't, it's okay. It might be easier just like that. And then you can draw back over the bench. Paint back over the bench with the black paint. Might be easier to do it like that. Now that I have the white mixed, I'm gonna mix in some white and pink because it's kind of hard with this bench if it's just that normal pink color that I have. Oh, that actually kind of looks pretty. I kind of like that. I don't think I want to change it. Looks like a train of her dress. And then I added just a little bit of the black up here. I mean the pink up here. I'm gonna go back in with the black later after this dries to do his arm again, because I can still see it, which is always a good thing. I like this color pink here. I like this color pink more than I have on the one on the sample. Just Keep it nice and simple. Not too much. I'll let that dry. And while that's drying, we can go ahead and add your birds. For the birds, it's just simple two little lines. 1 and 2. There you go. Simple. And then you just go like that for the body. See? Not too hard. And then add another bird, a little smaller. 1 and 2. So you can add your birds wherever you want to add them. It's completely up to you. Or if you don't want to have birds, that's fine. And then I'm going to put the 3 birds in the water just so that you can see the reflection there a little bit. So I'm going to do it upside down. There you go. And then there's your body. Then I'm going to do one right here for that other bird. And one over here. Sorry. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to go ahead and add some of those black branches back. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. If you want to see some of your branches back. I think I want to see one right here. Little one right there. A little bit of that one. Maybe a little bit of that back. This one up here. And up here. Maybe I'll get this one back too. Add some branches on the top. Just because I like the way it looks. So you can see branches behind it and then in front of it, just like in normal life. When you see a tree, you're like, oh, I like that. Make it a little bit more realistic. Kind of want to add a branch onto this one. Then right here. I felt like it was missing one right here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of white and black. I'm going to mix it a little bit. I'm still using the small detail brush. I'm making just like a little gray color. A nice little gray color. If you have brown you want to use that, you can use that also. Just add in some texture to the tree. Now you don't have to do this if you don't want to. So I'm just adding little lines to the tree to give it some texture. Because trees have different colors. It's not always just one straight color, you know? I like that a lot. There we go. I think I'm going to do that to one or two of my branches too. Mostly just down here. My little one's crying. Poor baby. Alright. And then now that I did that and this is dry, I'm going to go ahead and add that black line back for our bench. And then for his arm, right there, let me see, around her. He can make his arm go like this if you want. Alright, there you go. And we are all done. What you guys think? Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy you think so. I get so nervous sometimes, so then I start being quiet. I'm like, don't forget to post your paintings and tag me so I can see them. Thank you so much, everyone, for painting with me today. I hope all of you have a great day, okay? You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me. All right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Have a great day. Bye.